very concerned about the safety of people in Camp Liberty.
It would be a betrayal if we let these people have a bad fate.
I saw your response to the House Committee on Camp Ashraf. I actually have different information that which we'd like to share with the department. I think there's a different set of views about the willingness of people if there's a certain security.
Camp Liberty. Remember the MEC situation, the Iranian population in Iraq. Could you give us an update of what we're trying to do there?
I will. First of all, I'm very concerned about the safety of people in Camp Liberty, and I understand the passion of the folks from the MEK who show up at many of the hearings here.
I understand it,
concerns. But the fact is that Camp Ashraf, as it was when they used to be there, really doesn't exist the same way anymore, number one. Number two, that camp is very close to the Iranian border, and it has been a tinderbox with respect to Iranian, Iraq, and Camp Ashraf issues. Number three, a key component of the MEK's delisting from a foreign terrorist organization classification was their cooperation to move from Camp Ashraf to Camp Liberty. And there is an MOU between the government of Iraq and the UN that provides a legal basis, a binding basis for protecting the residents of the camp and facilitating a process of repatriation, but that's predicated on them moving from Ashraf. So there's a very complicated deal here. Ashraf sits in the middle of Diyala province. Diyala province is one of the more violent and dangerous provinces in the country. So the purpose of moving them out of there was really to try to provide greater protection, and you know, I think the bottom line is we're trying to relocate them. Now, that relocation process has gone through a slight hiccup or two in the last months. A lot of countries have been approached by us and asked, will you take some people? And frankly, we've been finding a very, we've had a hard time. We're not finding takers. We are conducting interviews. More than several thousand have been interviewed. But in the interview process that's been going on, that stopped because the interviewees sort of said, no, we're not going to submit to the interviews now. We want to go back to Ashraf. So there's been a back and forth here, folks, that's been very, very complicated.
Well, Ms. Secretary, obviously you're very aware of the situation, as you are of almost everything I talked to you about. So please keep the committee informed. We want to help. It would be a betrayal if we let these people have a bad fate.
And I'm worried about their safety. I raised that with Prime Minister Maliki when I was in Iraq.
On Camp Ashraf.